So while making this video, there was a power surge, and all the work I spent on this video before this recording has been lost. I am genuinely very pissed, and I want to kill myself. That is all. Time for that fucking story yet again. So I'm going to put up a disclaimer right away and say that this story is, I guess you could say, not pretty anticlimactic. As in the story, there's no school shooting. Sadly, no kids got shot up. Sadly, but that's the way things work sometimes. I'm not crazy. So back in the 10th grade, I was just minding my own business, I guess you can say, one day as I was getting off the bus, and then all of a sudden this one senior, he was hanging out with little senior friends, and they were all talking, they were all joking, and they were talking about how, like, in a couple weeks they weren't going to go to school because there was some event that was going to go on. It was going to be crazy, crazy cool. All the cool cats were going to be there. And I thought nothing much of it. I was like, okay, whatever, some food fight, some senior prank is going to happen, and I don't really care. So I just continued on with my day. Didn't really care much about it. And then some weeks passed, and I was sitting at the lunch table, right? Just with all my Arab friends, just talking about some terrorism, all that good shit. And then all of a sudden, one of them says something about something big that's going to happen, some big event. And I'm like, oh, that sounds a little familiar. Where did I hear this from? That was going to happen next Friday. I was kind of like listening to it. I was trying not to think much about it, just trying to eat my food and shit and go on with my day, go throughout the school year without getting shot or anything. And it turns out it was a school shooting, a fucking school shooting, I kind of didn't think much about it at first. I was like, okay, whatever. Let the fucking government fucking deal with that shit, the local fucking government. It seemed weird that nothing was really happening or something was being done to deal with the situation at the time. Like the school, the county, nothing really happened or they did anything to really address it. I mean, I can understand where they're coming from in the sense that if they say something about the rumors of the shooting, that it would scare some people. But the thing is, though, where do you draw the line when there's a lot of paranoia and people are freaking out and such to, addressing the problem and telling people about it? I can also understand where the bad things could go bad, like if the county or the school sends out an email to all the parents and such. The parents, I can understand why they wouldn't want to send their kids to school that day. Sending your offspring to a place where they could possibly get shot is kind of an issue, And all those bigwigs don't want a bunch of kids not coming to their schools. When kids don't come to their schools because their parents don't want to, it looks kind of bad, And the bigwigs like their reputation. And I'm not really one to be the kind of guy who wears a tinfoil hat and blames disappearances on fucking aliens. But, I'm just saying that a little bit of a mention would be nice, but I could also see where you're coming from. So after listening to a lot of various rumors throughout the days and the weeks and such, I finally kind of pieced together what I believe is the story of how the rumor was born, was conceived from the womb of stupidity. Pretty much what happened was two freshmen, like this one dude and this other bitch, they were kind of just chilling out one day, and all of a sudden they started fucking playing with their Ouija board. Like, you already know things are gonna be fucking fun, right? They came up with this prophecy, I guess you could say, that's this one other freshman girl was gonna come to this school one day and just cause a shooting and shoot a bunch of kids like it's an arcade Call of Duty game. It fit the bill, She was quiet, she was antisocial, she was white. It fit the bill, it fit the stereotype. It was believable. It was understandable. It was like, yeah, I could believe that. I can look at her and say, yeah, she'd shoot up a school even though she is a woman, because shooting up schools has no gender. What I can't really believe is that a lot of, like, these two people were sitting down around a Ouija board, right? And the spirits from the other fucking world, the next fucking world, decided to come to them with this prophecy in mind. And they decided to tell them, like, they're almost as dumb as that Stegosaurus. Or at least they're just kind of be dick bullies, But, I mean, I would find that kind of amusing, except for the fact that, shit can happen, Now, the school or the county really did nothing about it. Nothing that could be seen, at least from my perspective, my point of view. As the only thing they really did was I guess, bring in a police officer with some Kevlar on. And he just came around during the lunchtime and just patrolled the fucking lunchroom. Like, what's that? What good's that gonna do? Like, honestly, if I was a fucking shooter, I'd fucking shoot the cop first, you know? He's the only guy in the school that has a gun, and he's the only person of security that isn't fat and old. I think only one of them was actually skinny, and that was about it. And I don't think he actually did much. For a couple days before the planned date of the shooting was to happen, the security guard, he just kind of hung around the lunchroom for those last couple of days, you know? And that's the only thing I saw the school kind of how they reacted. Well, the magical day comes around and really nothing happens. A couple of kids don't go to school. They probably fake some shit like, oh, I'm sick and shit like that, you know, and or they just tell their parents that shit or something. I don't know what happened, honestly. The day comes around and nothing really happens. It's just a normal day, you know. Just go to school. There's the security guard there. There's a bunch of people outside the front doors that kind of just look around, make sure nothing bad happens, you know. And that was about it. Like I told you, it was anticlimactic, but you know, that kind of shit's kind of fucking crazy. You know, looking back, that would have been like the first female shooter, or at least that I know of. I could probably Google and find some female shooters, you know, that shot up schools and stuff. It would have been well known throughout the news, and people would have fucking died and shit. I don't know. Like, it honestly bothers me that the school or the county really didn't do much about it, because my county, they pride themselves as being very large and very wealthy and such, that they're able to do all this and stuff, and that they want high test scores and or they get high test scores and stuff like that, and they pride themselves in that kind of thing. And then when something bad comes around, they kind of like hush it down, like shh, quiet, shh. Also, another bizarre thing in my county is that, like, there's a lot of fire drills and such, but the problem is, though, like, no one really dies from a fire. I mean, I imagine people can die from a fire, but it's a lot harder nowadays. Like, back when they had the sweatshops and they locked the doors and locked people in, I understand that. Fires killed everyone in the building, but nowadays it's a lot easier, you know? There's a million fucking doors in the building. There's a lot of systems and stuff. You can still do the drills and such, but the problem is there's things called lockdown. I don't know if other people do it, lockdown drills. But pretty much what happens is, like, you just turn out the lights and be quiet and hope the people don't shoot you. That's the drill. I don't know. I just find that bothersome. And on top of that, we do that like once every year, maybe. I think it's the tornado drill we would do once every year. But I don't know. It's like, it's more likely to be caught in a shooting than in a fire. So why are we doing more fire drills than lockdown drills? This is kind of what made kind of bizarre to me. Something that's more likely to kill all of us students while we're supposed to be safe in this building is less thought of, you know? Well, I mean, that's my 2 cents, I guess, and my story. Well, even though this wasn't the most climactic and exciting and blood-rushing, adrenaline-pumping experience of a story ever, I guess you can still learn something from it, you know. I hope you guys laughed at this stupid shit. Or just maybe not. I understand if you don't, because it's kind of some dark, serious shit. Fucking kids getting killed in the fucking school and shit. But anyway, if you liked this video, leave a like if you thought it was anyway funny. And subscribe if you give a shit. And yeah, I'll see you guys now.